top side control submissions. All gi dependent right now, so we're focusing on gi. These don't work without the gi. So first I'll have Andy down in bottom side control. Okay. Again, gi dependent. Tactics will change if they don't have the gi. But since he's wearing a weapon and I'm wearing a weapon, we're going to utilize this. First thing I want to do is make sure I establish good side control. Okay. This is how I set it up. There are a few different variations on how to set this up, but the concepts and principles are the same. You can change those specifics later. This is just one blueprint on what I use. So make sure I get good established side control, chest to chest. I'm blocking his left hip so he can't re-guard, and I'm controlling head. Okay, tight control. Once I've felt I've maintained this position and I'm ready to attack, I switch this over to the other side of his head. I get head control this way. Now when I get head control this way, I always want to make sure I have equal control on the opposite hip so he doesn't re-guard. Okay, he doesn't have his head free, but I don't want his hips moving too much into me so he can re-guard. Okay, after this, what I'm going to do is switch this hand around to his other hip. I can start blocking his hip here. You see, if I don't need my knee, I can have my hand blocking his hip so he can't re-guard. So over the head, opposite hip. This is a good way to establish a side control. Or you could do it the other way, the traditional way. Hand over here on this hip, cross face, or you can come up under control. So for this one, over to the hip, I put a lot of pressure into his belly. Okay, with my shoulder right into his center of gravity, center mass, right by his hips. Okay, for now, this hand is just gonna lift this leg slightly so this hand can start sneaking under. Okay, and I gotta keep some sort of pressure here so it doesn't roll out. And I'm gonna horse collar the back of his gi. Okay, with my 4 fingers. So if Andy wants to sit up a little bit, what I'm doing is grabbing my 4 fingers, the back of the collar. If you can't grab this, you can just grab any sort of wrinkle sleeve. It works also, but not as well. This works the best, so always reach for this first. At least that's what I do. Okay? Head over, hip. Put pressure in, because I don't want him to move. Reach under, horse collar, right where the tag would be. Now, as I do it, I come across here, and I stick my thumb into his collar. Not too deep. If I go too deep, I'll just do a trachea crush. It works, but let's do it the proper way with the blood choke. Here, thumb in. The crook of my wrist bone lays right on his trachea. Establish a strong grip. Once I'm here, this elbow drives to the mat, straight down. So now my hands are in this position. Okay, once I get here, I'm going to pull and push, 2-way motion. Here, horse collar, thumb in grip, elbow to the mat. Very important, elbow to the mat. Now you can finish it high, but I like to go flat. I flatten out. Now from here, I think of scraping my elbow up over his head. Just push. At the same time, I'm pulling slightly under this so I get a little 2-way motion here and here. What this does, this horse collar, is it tightens the slack out of this lapel. Okay? If I slacken this, if I don't have that grip, this moves too much. It's much harder. I have to move a lot more to finish the choke. If I move a lot more, he has room to escape. So I'm going to take the slack on. Side control. Over here. Reach. Putting a lot of pressure right here on his midsection so he can't get away too easy. Horse collar. 4 fingers in. Thumb in grip. Drive that elbow to the mat. Once I get to the elbow mat, I like to flatten out and I push his head, dragging my elbow into the mat. Okay, so that's fan choke. One more time, and we'll move on. Okay. First technique using the gi. Second technique, we'll do it from the mount. We can also do it from guard position, but since we're focusing on top theme, the top control theme, either side control or mount, we'll just do it from here. Okay, this again is gi dependent. I'm gonna have one of his lapel or his gi tails out. Make sure it's out. You might have to be a little sneaky about this. We'll just cover the basic mechanics. How you apply it later depends on your I guess, application of it. So here, I make sure I maintain the mount first. Put this here. You do head control, be careful not to get rolled. And what I'm going to do is just feed it to this hand that's under his head. Okay, make sure I have a good grip on this tail. Here. From here, I don't let go of this per se, I just go right underneath, like this, wrapping my own hand. So here, maintain the mount, feed, over, grip, under. This then just slides to the other side of his throat, and all I have to do is raise up and straighten my arms out. Okay? It's a modified Ezekiel choke with the gi tail. Okay? Establish the mount. I know his gi has come undone. We'll just feed it right there. Loop underneath, sneak that to the other side of his neck. Once I'm here, I can scoot up high if I want, just raise up. Okay? One hand on this, the other hand is the gi and my grip on the other side. So if you look, it's right here. And from here, I don't crush in, I extend backwards, straightening my arms. Okay? Gi dependent and grip dependent. I have to keep control of this. Let's switch to the bottom. Just so you have the example. From the guard, same thing. I'm able to get this. I can start playing like I'm trying to protect it or break down his posture, and he doesn't really notice this. And I can grip right here. As he starts to maintain his posture, that's when I sneak this hand in there here. Okay? So he comes back down. He's here. I'm able to get this up here. Try to bait him to think I'm controlling his posture. He starts to raise up here. Now, common mistake is I need him to extend away. He's going to want to get his posture when he's in my guard. So as he gains his posture, he chokes himself. Okay? The defense would be to keep collapsed. Hold on tight so I can't extend. If he's neutral, I can extend him on my own. But most people will panic and guard. The theory in Jiu-jitsu is always posture when you're in someone's guard. So you can start passing. This sets up perfect. 1, 2. As he starts posturing, I sneak this right in there. Good. Those are our 2 moves.